So today's daily word is zeal. And every time I hear that word, I think of squeal. You know, it's like, so zeal and I have had this square dance, kind of, you know. I love enthusiasm. I absolutely am all for it, of course, to be filled with the Spirit, to be enthusiasm. So my word today is not so much zeal as it is inspiration. Inspiration. Where does your inspiration come from? It's no secret that I love Leonard Cohen's music. And someone asked him, where do all your good songs come from? And he said, if I knew that, I'd go there more often. Isn't that the truth? Wouldn't we love to roll out of bed, sizzling with zeal and enthusiasm, and spring forth? That is John's prayer. I appreciate the authenticity of that. Some mornings I do spring out of bed and I feel rested and I'm happy and I'm embracing the day. And other days I'm laying there going, what time is it? You know, it just depends. That's part of the human experience. Inspiration. Where does it come from? What are we talking about, really? It's so fleeting. What inspires you? Well, I can look at a pretty sunrise, sunset, and be inspired by that. And other times, it falls flat. I can always appreciate beauty. Do you know there is a difference between admiration and inspiration? We can admire other people, things they've accomplished, how they are, who they are. But that's not necessarily inspiration. Admiration is passive. It's a recognition of something extraordinary, maybe. But inspiration motivates you to do something. Inspiration is a motivating feeling. So as I contemplated inspiration, I remembered Genesis 2nd chapter, when it talks about the creation of man. So it says that the Lord God created man out of clay. So we got this little lump of clay here. And it wasn't until the breath of life was breathed into the nostrils that life was given. So that's what inspiration means literally. Inspire. Inspiration. So once you come to life, you want to do something, right? The whole purpose of life is a creative impulse. That's what I believe. A creative impulse. You know, think about it. Birthdays. We've had a couple of birthdays this past week. Since your first breath, you've been breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out continuously. We don't think about that very much. We take it for granted. Just like the body will heal itself and I don't have to do much about it. I cut my finger this week. I was making scalloped potatoes on a mandolin. Oh yeah. And then you get toward the end, the gloved hand was fine, but I was in a hurry and there it went, a little piece of skin. It didn't get in the potatoes, but but 3 days later 3 days later, it's healing. That's a divine impulse. The body knows what to do with each breath. It heals itself. We carry right on without thinking about it. But what if we did think about it? With each breath, I have the opportunity to be inspired with the Spirit. There is a story in the Bible about Nicodemus. You know, Nicodemus was a Jewish teacher, and he came to Jesus by night secretly. He didn't want to be seen talking to this renegade. So he goes, and Jesus said, you know, you have to be born again. And Nicodemus, being a literal person, says, now how can that be? How can an old man re-enter the womb and be born again? And Jesus said, human beings can only make bodies, but it is the Spirit that gives life. That gives life. Spiritual life. We all know we're not just our bodies. We all know that. However, a lot of the time we live like lumps of clay, just going about, not paying attention at all. And this is why meditation is so important, because just taking the time to be still, and you don't have to do this, you don't have to hold your mouth a certain way or anything, just be still and pay attention. Watch the little ant crawl across the patio, the lizard with his push-ups. The world is miraculous. And once we really give our full attention, we begin to see that every single moment is inspiring, filling us with life. Filling us with life. We tend to think of inspiration as those aha moments, only those aha moments. Oh, I'm inspired to bake a cake. I'm inspired to create a painting. I'm inspired to create something. But the truth of the matter is, every single moment we are creating. We're creating our future. Where is your consciousness? Most of the time. And you have to be really enlightened to be able to live 100% aware of the spiritual moment. A mystic. A mystic. But if we can just touch the hem of the garment every now and then, that stays with us. And you know when you've been touched, because sometimes tears will come. It's a bodily sensation. So, Nicodemus, born again. We're born again every single moment. Every single moment. I'm not saving this for the addendum. Spirit is like the wind. Nobody knows where it comes from. Nobody knows where it goes. But you do know when you feel it. When you feel it. You know, when Adam came to life, he was given instructions about how to live, right? Don't eat this fruit. Don't do this, don't do that, do this. And here's all of these blessings just for you, just for you. What he was told is, do not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. The knowledge. That's duality. So we went from our unity consciousness into duality. I like this, I don't like that. And when we are in that state of consciousness, it's hard to be inspired. Very hard to be inspired. We open ourselves to the inspiration and the creative impulse when we're in a state of gratitude and present moment awareness. You know, when you're in the creative flow, there is no you. You become the channel through which the Spirit flows. And that is the most fun there is. You can look at what you created and go, ugh! But hey, Jackson Pollock just threw paint on the wall and he's famous. You never know. It's what your spirit, and only your spirit, can give to the world. So, have an inspiring day, right? Can you make inspiration happen? Yes, you can. Just be still. Pay attention. Breathe. And inspiration is yours. And even if you are inspired to create a mess, have fun doing it. Have fun doing it. Because if it's not fun, where's the joy? All of life is not fun. I'm very well aware of that. But when you breathe your way through the difficult times, inspiration is yours. Always. Because that's the nature of God. Give us life, give us life, give us life. I'm listening. There may be an addendum. If I'm inspired. Thanks, guys.